lifting and tying our,
Tying.
for lighting, I meant to say, our candles. I'm on automatic pilot. So we rise as we turn to page 4, if you'd like to find it, as we join together. Let me know if you need help. Yeah, that's a good one. I made sure we had that one with us. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Thank you, thank you. You are welcome to be seated. So we turn on over to page 5. Thank you, the trio. That was really well done together. Not always easy. So we turn over to page 5 as we begin together. Shalom Aleichem, bottom of the page. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharein, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You'll turn to page 11, please. There you will find our formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, our service welcoming in the Sabbath. I think it's been a long week. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Our first full week after Passover. We started the week off with a wonderful program on Sunday, and we are gearing up for a busy next few weeks. Shabbat gives us that breath, and in the midst of the chaos of our lives. So page 11, we join together. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, litzur yishenu, nekadma fana bitoda. Naria, Naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot Naria lo. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Ki el gadol Adonai melech gadol kol Elohim. We conclude the psalm over on page 12. Arba'im shana kud bidor va'omar am to'e levav heim v'heim lo yadun rachai asher nishbati v'yapi im yavon el menuchati. Page 14, by the arrow, you'll find towards the end of Psalm 96, Yismechu hashamayim, the heavens and the earth rejoice, are happy. There's simcha, there's happiness and joy. We join together by the arrow. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, umilo, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, umilo, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo, az yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar, lifnei Adonai kiva, ki hiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek, v'yamim b'emunato. You'll kindly turn over to page 19, where you'll find our selection on the bottom of the left side of the page in the small print. Again, linking ourselves to Israel, as this prayer comes from a Tel Aviv prayer community, and it's a wonderful description of what Shabbat can be for us. So let's join together in this small selection, bottom of 19. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace, following a tumultuous week filled with so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your Creator. Blessed is your light. We turn on over to page 20 by the arrow, where we end the 99th Psalm together, lifting our voices up to God. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. We turn on over to page 21 before we sing our 29th Psalm in Hebrew. Let's turn our eyes to the left side of the page, the selection that reminds us of what this psalm really is all about from a mystical sense and understanding. So page 21, let's join together the far left responsively in the Hebrew and the English. Kol Adonai al hamayim. The voice of God opens the gates of compassion and love. Kol Adonai bakoach. The voice of God opens the gates of courage. Kol Adonai behadar. The voice of God opens the gates of shining truth. Kol Adonai shover arazim. The voice of God opens the gates of endurance and patience. Kol Adonai chotzef lavot esh. The voice of God opens the gates of splendorous beauty. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. The voice of God opens the gates of deepest connection. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot. The voice of God opens the gates of presence. Page 21, let's rise as we turn our eyes to the right side of the page as we join together the 29th Psalm. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'os, havu l'Adonai kevod shmo, yishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai Mayim Rabim, Kol Adonai Bakoach, Kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, Vayishaber Adonai et Arzei Halavanon, Vayarkidem Gemo Egel, Levanon Vesirion, Kemoven Re'emim, Kol Adonai Chotzef Lavotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yecholel Ayalot, Vayechesof Ye'arot, Uvehechalo Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lamavu Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Os Le'amo Yitain, Adonai Yevarech et Amo Vashalom. You are welcome to be seated. We turn on over to page 23, where you'll find Lecha Dodi, our hymn welcoming our Shabbat bride or queen into our midst. We'll do the first two on 23. I'm going to mix it up because we haven't done it in a while. We're going to do the second set, the middle and last set, I should say, on page 24. So the two verses on 24. I'm getting bored. You got to do a little bit of something different, right? Every now and again. And then the last two verses. So we're going to do 2, 2, and 2, the last two of each page on the last two pages, and the first two on the first page. So I'll guide you along. Page 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi, as again, we welcome in our bride or queen. And I know that Richard's got the door handled. You don't have to compete with it. Harold's not here tonight, so it's all you, or you can designate someone else. That's up to you. Page 23, we join together. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. First two verses. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor habaracha, mehirosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Middle 24. Hitoreri, Kiva ore, Kumi uri, Shirda beri, Kevod Adonai Allah yechnigla. Lecha Dodi Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Next verse. Lo tevoshi velo tikami, ma tishtochachi u'ma tehemi, Bach yechesu aniye ami, venivneta ir atila. Lecha, lecha, dodi lecha, dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Middle of 25. Yahaminu semol tifrotzi, viet Adonai ta'aritzi ahol yad, ish ben partzi, venismecha menagila. Lecha, lecha, dodi lecha, dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzahala, toch emunei am sigula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha, lecha, dodi lecha, dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. You're welcome to be seated. Thanks for doing the harmonies with me. Page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat. We join together. I'm going to do a different tune tonight just to mix it up a little bit. This is one I've introduced before. We haven't done it in a while, but it's got the refrain Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot. It's good to give thanks. And I think in our world today, to remind us that we have gratitude is a gift. The gift of gratitude is important. So page 27. Mizmor shir liyom ha-Shabbat. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon, l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer, ulezamer, l'shimcha elyon. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, baleilot. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Alei asor va'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. We continue silently. Ki simachani Adonai b'folecha ma'asedecha ne'magalim. We join together for the last verses on page 28 by the arrow. Tzadik atamar yifrach ke'erez balevanon yiskeh shetulim ve'hevet Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuven Beseva Deshenim Verananim Yiyu Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Tzuri Velo Avlatabo. 29. Adonai Malakeut Lavesh Lavesh Adonai Ositazar Aftikon Tevel Baltimo Nachon Kisacha Meaz Meolamatan Eto Techanemnu Meod Lehavetcha Na'ava Kodesh Adonai Liorech Yamim. Those reciting Kaddish Tom, the mourner's Kaddish, you'll find it, our first one of the evening, over on page 30. All those reciting are welcome to rise and join with me. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach yiruteh v'amlich malchuteh v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam ulomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Together, Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We are going to actually turn right on over to the beginning of the evening service. I'll share some words of Torah in just a little bit later. But we turn promptly to page 39a, and thinking about, I started out the service talking about how much is going on this few weeks from Passover onward. This is going to be an extra piece of candy, an extra Hershey's Kiss, or if you like a different kind, I have others. If you can, don't answer it now. We'll talk about it in a minute. If you can answer what today is besides Shabbat, what other holiday or day it is besides Shabbat. Don't answer it. Think about what you think might be, and hopefully you will figure it out in just a little bit. So page 39a, we will welcome in Shabbat. We'll welcome in this new day of life together, and the other occasion that I'm referring to, page 39a. I'm not telling you what it is yet. 39a, and it's not Eagle Fest, so don't say that. That's across the street. For those of you who are here earlier. Page 39a, you'll find the beginning of the evening service. If you will kindly rise once again, if you're able to, as we join together. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yai-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yai-da-da-da-da-da. Yai-da-da-da-da-da. You are welcome to be seated. We're on 39a. If you'll read with me on the left side of the page, our bracha, our first bracha of the evening service, and our bracha of creation. Let's join together. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. Umavir yom umehevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai Tzevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamid, yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'arir v'ravim. We join together page 40, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu u'b'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam valayla, yomam valayla. V'yahavadcha al tasir mimenu li'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha havaderech uvshochbecha uvkutmecha Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, ve'hayu letotafot bein eitnecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Let's join together in the English on 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. We turn over to page 44. Umalchuto baratzon, leading up to Michamocha, our words we sang as we crossed the Red Sea from slavery into freedom. Let's join together 44. Umalchuto beratzon kiblu alehem Moshe uMiriam uvnei Yisrael anu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilo do sefele Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe ze'elianu v'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov u'ge'alo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. As always, on page 45, you'll find our Hashkivenu prayer. It asks for a sense of shalom, a sense of peace as we end our day and begin a new day together. So the top of 45 on the left, let's read together. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ushmor tzeitenu uvo'enu lechayim u'l'shalom e'atav yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Page 46. We rise as we join together in the singing of Vishamru, reminding us that Shabbat is a sign of the covenant we share with God. Let's join together. 46. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam V'heini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam Oti leolam, oti leolam, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam. Page 46, we continue with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba b'yamad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לעולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא V'emeru, amen. Does anybody know what special day it is today besides Shabbat? Count of the Omer? Yes, but not what I was looking for. It is indeed Rosh Chodesh. Oh, it is the beginning of the new Jewish month. Today and tomorrow, tonight, yesterday, well today, and then tonight and tomorrow. It's a 2-day Rosh Chodesh. So, as nobody gets any candy tonight, sorry. As you when you go through the Amidah, I have to tell you this now because when you go through the Amidah, one of the liturgical changes is to add the special paragraph on page 50 in the smaller print that recognizes it is the beginning of a new Jewish month. We are smart people. We celebrate and show gratitude for all of life, including the opportunity to begin again this new month. So, page 47, and it happens to be the birth month of none other than Mindy and me. Yes. All right. Page 47, you will find the silent Amidah this evening. Again, you can add the paragraph in the Hebrew or the English for our new month, and we'll talk about the Omer in just a little bit. Page 47. Rosh HaChodesh says. Bottom of 52. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Page 54, you will find Kaddish Shalem. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba b'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechanu v'mechon uv'chayedocho be'Yisrael ba'agala ubizman kari ve'imeru amen. Yeheshmei Rabba mevarach le'olam alal me'almaya yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yishmam yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram v'yaman v'imeru amen. Titkal bal soloton uvauton d'chol Yisrael kodam avohon divishamaya v'imeru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru amen. We turn back towards the back of our Siddur on page 173. There you will find our prayers for healing, our Misha Berach for Cholim, for those who need of healing. And of course, as always, we think as we sing our selection and look at the words, we remind ourselves that healing is much more than just physical. It is spiritual, emotional, and psychological, certainly, and healing for the world in general. So page 173, as we prepare to sing our Misha Berach, we keep in our thoughts those who have asked for prayers for healing, including Hanan HaKohen ben Sima, Michal bat Devora, Shulamit bat Gittel, Yitzchak ben Gittel, Yisraela bat Sipora, Devora bat Avraham Vasara, Elizabeth Alfieri, Victor Alfieri, Matthew Ash, Alan Burkhauser, Bonnie Carlton, Natalie Kogan, Megan Contigno, Michelle Kramer, Barbara Feingold, Bruce Fine, Gittel Glasser, Suzanne Gott, Francis Haber, Arlene Hoffman, Nadine Hyman, Peter Jacobson, Joan Klepp, Mike Kadadish, Michael Kraus, Hannah Lipman, Joel Lowenstern, Rivka Markowitz, Marjorie Morstein, Susan Aller, Jana Prince, Bernie Rowe, Devorah Rubenstein, Genevieve Sanders, Harriet Siegel, Esther Wiener, and Mary Beth White, and any names we add at this moment. Keep all of them in our thoughts as we turn again to 173, far left. Mishe berach avoteinu mikor haberacha leimoteinu May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, Mekor habaracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema to all in need. Before we go into the concluding part of our service, here's where I'll pause just for a few moments to talk a little bit of Torah and Jewish learning. As I mentioned at the beginning of the service, we are in the midst of a very busy period of time on our Jewish calendar. We often think of the High Holy Day month, right, as being busy. I hate to say, I think this rivals it between the beginning of Passover all the way through for the next month or so. It is quite filled with lots of things going on, and not just programmatically. In 2 weeks' time, since we've ended, right, the holiday of Passover, we have observed this past week Yom HaShoah, our Holocaust Remembrance Day. We celebrate today, we're celebrating Rosh Chodesh, which in and of itself, it's like I mentioned, is its own holiday today and tomorrow. And with the beginning of the month of Iyar, we will then also move our attention towards Yom HaZikaron, which is next week, which is Israel's Memorial Day, just like our Memorial Day, related to those who died fighting for the state of Israel. And the next day after that, appropriately, we will celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut, which is Israel Independence Day. So it's a very busy time, all of that within 2 weeks. And so it is a very busy time on our Jewish calendar, filled with many opportunities for both remembering and for celebrating. But we're also, as some of you figured out, and you mentioned it, Linda, when you said the Omer, right? We're moving slowly through the Omer, the 49-day period between Passover and Shavuot, the festival of Shavuot. And each day during the Omer, we pause, usually in the evening, traditionally, to say a blessing and to count each new day. And although the Torah fails to really give us a clear explanation as to why we count these days, we can understand this mitzvah in connection to the grain harvest. It's given in connection to agriculture, which began on Passover, around Passover time, and concluded on Shavuot. So this was our ancestors' harvest period. That's what's going on. Liturgically, we reflect some of that, but that's what was going on historically. So the Omer period was considered a time during which our agriculturally based ancestors felt the fragility of life and nature as they worked to bring in the barley harvest, and they expressed their deepest hopes that their efforts would be life-sustaining and fruitful. If you look around at the weather even today, the last couple of weeks for us, you've seen golf ball-size hail out in the Midwest, right, and torrential rain. We can't buy a drop. We're dry. In fact, one of our community members was here earlier today to make sure that the tea olives that are on the sides of our steps going up were watered, because he planted them a long time ago. We've had them, and he's taken it upon himself to make sure we get water to them, knowing we've had no rain. So we know that we feel that fragility. I don't know about you, but I've got some plants I got to go water, or they won't make it through this dry period. You can imagine our ancestors living through that, and certainly worrying about whether they could bring the harvest in, how much was really going to be able to be brought in, and how worrying about storms, worrying about hail, worrying about the elements that might, even something cold, a cold snap, which is not unusual, especially the last couple of weeks. We've even seen it cool down at night. So the Omer also came as that agricultural connection. We are not farmers, though, so it came to be understood, Omer, as a marking a period during the time when the Jewish people, right, left Egypt and traveled to Mount Sinai. So this is that period of time where they crossed the Red Sea, left slavery in Egypt, and traveled to Mount Sinai. There they received God's Torah. And so the Omer becomes something more than agriculture for us. It reminds and represents for us a period of spiritual awakening, right? Our ancestors struggled to kind of understand what is meant to be. What does it mean? How do we understand freedom? How do we let go of the shackles of slavery and travel beyond the burdens that they had in their past to a more meaningful life in receiving the Torah in connection to God and bringing the covenant forward with God. So our tradition, I would argue, has mastered the art of living both orders of time. The time bound, in which the seasons and the days and the hours and the minutes are literally counted, and the timeless, in which the eternal values of our tradition, the Torah, the spiritual realms of ideas that we encounter each day, like attaining freedom or the belief, ability to have a freedom of thought, freedom of belief, and an ability to create a faith within ourselves, those are the things that hold sway. So our tradition is beautiful in doing both the time-bound and the timeless. So as we are about to count the Omer in just a moment, and as we continue to move through the period of the Omer, I encourage you to take some time, not just tonight, but to count each and every day. If you want to take on the mitzvah of counting tomorrow night, if you have a Siddur in hand, you can even just go counting the Omer on your app or on the internet. You'll find an app for it, or you'll find a website for it, and you will tell you today is if you lose count. Count each day between now and the end of the Omer period, which hits Shavuot, and take some time to count the days. But don't just count, right? Consider the ways in which time guides your life, gives meaning and framework to your lives, right? And to your actions and to your thoughts. That's really the purpose of counting, is to remind ourselves of what's the framework around the meaning of our lives. And at the same time, don't forget that counting the days can only really be meaningful when you remember to make each day of life count as well. So as you count the days, be sure to do something each day to make life count. And with that, I will ask if you'll turn to page 63 as we prepare to recite the blessing for counting the Omer, counting this period. I get 2 Hershey kisses for anyone who could tell me what day it is. I always have to look it up, even from day to day. What day did I count last night? I don't remember, right? We are actually, the tradition is not to tell you, but I'm going to tell you that we are going to do our blessing, and then our Siddur doesn't make it easy for us. Other Siddurim make numbers, and you can find it. But we will turn to page 66 in just a moment, and the second selection is where we're at. You'll even see it says on the second day of Rosh Chodesh ER, so you know where we're at for our counting. So if you'll keep your hand on 66 and turn back to 63, and the tradition is, please, if you're able to rise, as we will read the English at the top together and do the bracha for counting the Omer in the Hebrew, and then we'll turn over to 66 to count the day. So together at the top of 63 on the left, I am about to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer as it is written in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the second day of Pesach, when an Omer of grain is to be brought as an offering, 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days. The bracha in the Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav vitzivanu al sfirat ha-omer. If you'll kindly turn over to page 66, the second selection, again, on the second day of Rosh Chodesh of the month of Iyar, the first of Iyar, we read, Hayom Shisha Asar Yom, Shehem Shnei Shavuot Ushnei Yamim La Omer. Today marks the 16th day. That's exactly 2 weeks and 2 days in the counting of the Omer. Again, as we count the days, please be sure to make each day of life count for yourselves as well. Together we say, Amen. And we turn back to page 56 as we remain standing for Aleinu. Ben, will you do us the honor of opening up the ark? Daniel, you want to help? Do you mind? Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll get 2 honor guards for our own. Page 56, we join together. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol la'teit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gohor aleinu k'chol hamonam V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo Begov hey meromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efes ulato kakatuv betorato v'adat hayom v'hashevota elevavecha Ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim ba-ba-ba-ba-shamayim mima'al v'yaretz mitachat enod Ki hamalchut shelcha hi olamei atimloch bechavod kakatuv betoratecha Adonai imloch leolam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad Ushemo echad. You are welcome to be seated. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it as always. If you will turn to page 58, there you will find Kaddish Tome, our Mourner's Kaddish. And as we recite Mourner's Kaddish this evening, we keep in our thoughts Dorothy Brotman, Mark Kantrowitz, Patricia Greenspan-Sack, Raphael Zaglin, Rose Rice, Zelik Lurie, David Bruckner, Myra Cutler, Terry Bereskin, Bertha Liver, George Otto Daniel Rosenwasser, John Kennedy, Melvin Cogan, Norman Emerson, Arthur Siegel, Hildegard Pittman, Lorraine Schwager, and Michael Wiener. Those reciting Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, you'll find it again over on page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam olomei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudisha brechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May be seated. Do one of you guys want to do tomorrow? Yeah, Erica, you can do it. There you go. David, I have you as tomorrow. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know, but that's what I have.
Is there anything I can't pronounce?
I don't think so, but I'll
Okay.
stay here with you.
All right, thank you.
Hold
All
on.
right, April 17th, Beam of the, tomorrow.
Go.
Here.
Oneg.
Oneg Kiddush Sponsorship Congregation, pick up your promotional updates in the lobby on your way out. Upcoming April events. Sunday, April 19th, the Sisterhood meeting with Arts and Crafts has been postponed. Registrants will be refunded. Wednesday, April 22nd, we will be joining the religious school for a Yom.
Atzmaut.
Thank
It's
you.
a hard word.
Yes, Israeli-themed celebration, which will be held from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Thursday, April 23rd, join us at 12 p.m. for the launch of the Oak JFS, hosted by Mickey Carney. This light lunch introduces a new secure digital home for the Greenville Jewish community. Whether you want to sync your calendar, offer a helping hand, or find local resources, the HIPAA-compliant platform makes staying connected easy and completely free. RSVP using the link in this week's newsletter. Sunday, April 26th, join us at the CBI annual meeting, starting with beverages at 12:15, and the meeting officially begins at 12:30. Looking forward. Invite friends and family. Sunday, May 3rd, CBI presents an evening of Broadway featuring Jewish composers and a silent auction from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tickets are $50 per person and $18 for ages 5 to 13. Reserve your spot online or call the office for assistance. We are requesting upscale silent auction donations. These could be submitted online or a downloaded form can be emailed. Proceeds will support our endeavor to meet ADA standards, ensuring our facility is available to everyone. Please attend. It's going to be a fabulous evening. Friday, May 15th, let's celebrate Yom Yerushalayim together with a revised menu. The brisket barbecue has been rescheduled for August 28th. Please register and pay online.
Okay, so that's just, we're going to still have dinner, but the brisket will not be brisket. It'll be Israeli-themed foods. It's Yom Yerushalayim that day, and then we will do the barbecue later on in the summer. So, and actually, I think we've did the end of August as our welcome back. So,
Right.
if you love
Yes.
brisket, put August 28th on your calendar. But join us on the 15th of May for Yom Yerushalayim.
All right, Sunday, May 31st. The men's club is hosting an outing to see the Greenville Drive baseball team, and the first pitch at 3:05 p.m., which follows a picnic lunch. Friday, July 10th, social action event. Please note that this has been postponed. The new date is to be decided.
This is for the Habitat for Humanity program.
Adult education. God Talk with Rabbi Cohn on 4/19 at 10:45 a.m. and April 26th at 10:30 a.m. Join Fred Leffert for Intermediate Hebrew on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. and Torah study on Zoom, Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Happy birthday. 4:15, David Barrett. 4:16, Corey Ribovich. 4:16, Marjorie Reedy. 4:17, Sharon Burbrager. 4:18, Michael Unger. 4:20, Tiffany Gleish. 4:21, Michael Kraus. And 4:21, Neil Baskin. Happy anniversary, 4:18, Robert and Michelle Siegel. 4:22, David Schutzman and Carol Weinstock.
All right.
All right. Oh, wait.
Thank you so much.
You unhook me?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bottom line, there's lots going on. Check the e-news that you get. You even got some extra stuff today about the Broadway program and other things going on. There's a lot of things a lot of moving parts in the next few weeks, like I said. So join. The Wednesday evening is low key. The kids are going to help because they always do dinner. So instead of them getting served, they're going to help make the dinner, just doing some hors d'oeuvres and finger foods and fun things for all of us to enjoy. But they're going to make their own dinner, And then we will, at 5:30, the congregation is welcome to come, and we'll have a little bit of Israeli dancing, have some music, just real low-key, but appropriate to celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut this year. I'm glad to see that we certainly have a truce at the moment, so I'm hopeful that the day can be one that is enjoying celebration, certainly both here and in Israel. But please feel free to join us for that. I think we're asking for $5 at the door just as a donation to defray the cost of Israeli salads and things like that. So just some fun little finger food. So if you're stopping by after work, even perfect time. There'll be again some Israeli dancing going on. Just a little bit of an hour and a half of some fun evening. And again, our kids are going to help out with preparing that. That is this coming Wednesday. This Wednesday. So keep that in mind. And please make sure you get your Broadway reservations in. We're filling up, so we want to make sure we continue to fill up on that one. And again, class this week for me is at 10:45 because it's a Ta'am day, so please keep that noted as well. And I think that's the most important things that you need to know. Otherwise, look at your e-news. So with that, we're going to conclude so we can head into the back for a little bit of Berry Zander Challah and some yummy treats to eat for our Kiddush, or our oneg rather. Remember, count the days, but make today count in some way special. And we will conclude with a little bit of bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Make sure you introduce yourselves to each other. If there's someone you don't recognize, go up and introduce yourself. Say hello. We'll be in the back in just a moment for Kiddush and Motzi and a little Nosh. I'm glad you're reacquainting yourselves. Very good. That's helpful.